Sir Isaac Newton's 3 laws of motion. Newton's first law of motion is an object in motion stays in motion, and an object at rest stays at rest until the object is acted on by an unbalanced force. Inertia is a tendency to resist change in motion. What this means is an object that is moving does not want to stop moving, and an object not moving wants to stay in that position. Without inertia, the objects would be super easy to move. To change the actions of these objects, you have to apply a force from either yourself or something else. Here, there's a moving car. For cars to move, they use motion. Without motion, they would stay right where they are. Nobody would go anywhere. To stop this car, you have to apply the brakes. This slows the tires, slowing the car. When it is not moving, you have to start it up. When doing this, the tires start moving and speed up the car. The brakes and gas pedals are the unbalanced forces. You have to press these to make them unbalanced, and they either stop or start the car. The animation you just saw was the car doing what I was talking about. Cars use velocity to get going. Velocity is motion in only one direction. If cars did not have this, you would have to use the steering wheel more than you have to do when you are driving your car. Cars also use speed when they are moving. Speed is motion in any direction instead of just one direction. Cars use speed to turn onto different sections of the road. They also use friction. Friction is a force that opposes motion between two surfaces. Friction is used to keep cars on the road. If they didn't have this, they would just slide off the road and nobody would get anywhere. There would also be more traffic accidents if people actually drove cars. Something else I will be talking about that relates to cars is gravity. Gravity helps the cars by keeping them on the road. If they didn't have gravity, they would most likely either float in midair or not move at all. They need it to move. Something else that keeps the cars moving is the force they use. The force is the engine spinning the wheels to make the car move. Cars always need force to move. Without it, nobody would go anywhere because the engine would not do anything and the wheels would not move. How to measure force is in newtons, or N. A force of 1000 would be measured in 1000 N instead of 1000 force, strength, or whatever you want to call it. Newton's second law of motion is the force of an object is equal to its mass times its acceleration. The formula to represent this would be F equals ma. The only reason an object would move is if a new force acts on it. Acceleration occurs when a new force changes the velocity of the object. It depends on the object's mass. Projectile motion is when an object that is thrown or launched from anything goes in a curve around the area where it is thrown. It isn't a big curve, but it is a curve to get to where you want it to go, if possible. Free fall is when there is someone falling to the earth, when the only force acting on the body is gravity. I've prepared a video to show this in action. I've also prepared a song for it, for that will help complete the video. Enjoy! Newton's third law of motion states that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. This means when an object moves or acts on another object, that object acts on something with an equal force in the opposite direction the first object acted on this one. The first object is the action force, and the second object is a reaction force. This means both objects make up the law. In my rocket drawing, the flame shooting out is the first action. The rocket flames pushing up the rocket up in the air is the equal reaction, and the rocket going up is the opposite reaction. Goodbye, and I hope you learned something.